Peace. So many of us are under the impression that, all of the answers are found in books. That everything we need can be found in books and found in the things that, are left for us. You know what I'm saying? Books, lessons, writings, tapes, lectures, and so on and so forth. All of these things do have a process in the teaching component. They're all tools to teach. You understand what I'm saying? But teaching and sharing information is just one aspect of the big picture. See, the bigger picture here is that for everything you've ever learned, there was somebody who taught you or guided you or gave you information that made you able to further your life, or to gain understanding about whatever particular school of thought you're dealing with. Well, not only is this done from the physical manifestation, we have school, we have college and things of that nature, but it's also done on the spiritual side. You understand? And a lot of people will misinterpret and tell you things on purpose, like you can get all of the spiritual understanding you need from books. Well, the books are written by people who probably had spiritual guides that allowed them to write the book. The knowledge and wisdom that was gained from being guided spiritually or being guided, period, was able to allow them to transfer information over into a book form or so on and so forth, because they had a proper, intelligent upbringing in this particular school of thought or whatever that may be. So in this day and time right now, going through a lot of things about spiritual guides. I'm going to be very, 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 very frank. Spiritual guides and so on and so forth. Well, anyone who understands the spiritual components know that a spiritual guide is necessary. One who is living is necessary. I mean, you can't learn Ifa or Yoruba or Pale Mayombo or Santeria or any of those spiritual systems without some type of guide, without someone there to take you all the way over the boundaries. You understand what I'm saying? You can dibble and dabble in these things, but there is no success in the dibbling and the dabbling. Actually, there's confusion and so on and so forth, because you start dibbling and dabbling, and when you dibble and dabble, you utilize the things you've heard from other people in conversations and so on and so forth, and you're trying these things out without somebody actually giving you the right and proper guidance to make these things happen. You understand? It's like martial arts. You can learn my system. You think you can, but you can't learn it from a book. I don't care how many books is put out. You can't learn it from a book. So what? You learn a stance, or you learn a particular block, or you learn a clear or whatever. That doesn't make a difference, because if you don't know what it means, what the position means, how it is utilized and applied, then you don't know anything. You've just been misguided. You just misguided yourself into destruction. This is what happens. You know what I'm saying? So you can pick a picture up out of a book and you can gain something from the picture and you can mimic the picture. But there's the subtleties that's missing that you don't understand unless you have somebody guiding you into understanding why that happens the way it happens. You understand? Application is good when you can utilize the application. But a lot of times the application is only good when somebody has taught you how to apply the application. It's the beautiful thing with spirit in the books. Books got all types of information in it. All types of spiritual information is in books. But if you don't know the application, you're wasting your spiritual energy on trying to do something that you have no application on, when there are living masters around you who can give you that application. And yeah, you can play. You can play with these things if you would like. That's your business. You can dibble and dabble if you like. But dibbling and dabbling doesn't get the same results as it gets from having an actual master teach you these things. You understand what I'm saying? And anybody who studies martial arts or study any type of spiritual schools know that I'm correct. You understand? And the real spiritual guide never, ever takes you from yourself and bring you to them for them to be worshipped or whatever. The spiritual guide brings you back to the higher aspects of your own self and how to utilize the lower aspects of the external to benefit the higher aspects of you. And the applications and the right words to use and the right way to breathe and so on and so forth. There are many things that are missing in your own guide to your own spirituality. And like the Sheikh says, Sheikh Abdul Rashid, which I love so much, like he says all the time, thinking is a higher form of worship. Be careful what you're thinking and what you're thinking about. You understand? So that's what happens when you're dibbling and dabbling in different things and you have no guide. You begin to do a lot of thinking. And this is how Lower level energy can step in because you're open. You're allowing certain things to come in because you're seeking information. You know what I'm saying? Which is why it's so important, again, to have a guide. So for all of those who say they can get to certain things without a guide, be my guest. Do your thing. But let us later on measure and see your own measurement and where your heart stands in the situation of you dibbling and dabbling with your own particular spirituality. Because every teacher had a teacher. Every guide had a guide. Every student that became a teacher had a student that was a teacher, that was a student. You understand what I'm saying? This is a transmission. A spiritual transmission is done spiritually. It is not done by mouth to ear. It is done from heart to heart. So everything we seeking, you know what I'm saying, you must find someone who is alive to actually take you over the boundary, to give you the applications. You know what I'm saying? You can try to do it on your own. The middleman, there is no middleman. Even the guide isn't a middleman, because the guide, a real guide, is taking you back to yourself. That's what it's all about. Making you see the better, higher aspects of the divinity in you. This is why I always talk about man is the best book he should read himself. You understand? The Kitab al-Qalb, the book of the heart, is the best book. And the best way to read that book and to understand that book is having someone who can teach you how to read that book. You understand? Because the language of Allah is not written in a language. It's written on the heart. And that's another language in all. It's not English. It's not Arabic. It's none of those types of languages, but it is a language that is written on the heart of the believer. And only the believer can hear the language and speak the language, because it's not a spoken word. So get back to your guides, man. Peace.